I've spent 20 years working in finance and tech, so I've had my full share of data analysis, but the most interesting data I've seen recently is the data about my own health. I've always been a bigger guy, always struggled with weight, but I've always been athletic, played high school basketball, play golf now. When 2025 started, I started listening to a lot of health podcasts, and I listened to guys like Huberman and Attia and Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and just got a lot of input on what a guy my age should be doing. And I got inspired a bit, and I started lifting weights in 2025, right at the beginning of the year. And I got into all these different things. Started going to the sauna in my at my club. I started on my travels around the country and world. I'd go to seek out different cold plunges, and I just got really into it. And then I also ended up finding out about Function Health and Dr. Mark Hyman. Happened to be a Andreessen Horowitz client or portfolio company, which is a client of mine. And so it was like, great, it's been vetted. I should check this out. They test a bunch of biomarkers. They look at the blood inside of you, determine, hey, what's going on inside of you? And I thought, well, maybe that's a good thing to do. So I did that. And, you go twice to get your blood drawn. And 2 weeks later, they come back with 108 biomarkers or 103 or something like that, and your biological age. Well, wow, my biological age came back at 46. What? I'm 57, but I'm feeling like 70. My joints are aching, muscles are sore, I'm tired, I'm dragging around. Then I got inspiration. My inspiration came from my kids. My oldest son tells me he's gonna train for a half triathlon. Wow, incredible. That's just like outrageous. I'm so proud of that. Then we're going to visit our other son in college and taking all our other boys. And my son in college says, the weekend you're there, I'm running a half marathon. And his older brother says, I'll run it with you. So we go visit him in college, and two of our boys are running a half marathon. I'd never been to a race like that, and see them running around and all the people doing it. I was like, wow, this is super inspiring. Then I find right before Thanksgiving, this guy on Instagram and YouTube, David Park, who on YouTube, I think he's Find 404. And he's got this crazy Instagram where he's trying to be like David Goggins, and he's training every day to be like David Goggins, 12 miles a day running, hour in the gym. And it's really inspiring. His stuff is like really killer. So I'm like, hey, I can do that. I can get started. Let's start with the turkey trot here locally, Thanksgiving weekend. Well, Wednesday comes around. We're thinking it's Thursday morning. We're gonna do it as a family. Wednesday comes around. I hear that turkey trot was that morning. It was on Wednesday morning, not Thursday morning. And I'm like, what? I'm finally getting like, this is my inspiration to get started. And I missed the race. So I say, screw it. I'm gonna go run 3 miles Thanksgiving morning all by myself. Get up and do that. And oh my gosh, that was real hard. I mean, that was like, I could barely walk. I couldn't even barely come down the stairs to eat Thanksgiving dinner. My legs were so sore, and just, it was crazy how difficult it was. But you know what? I did it again the next day and the next day, and it was tough to run. I could barely move. And then my wife said, hey, why don't we try to do a lazy triathlon? She'd heard about this thing. A lazy tri, which is basically doing the whole triathlon, but over a year's time. And I'm thinking, I'm not really into swimming, but I could walk, bike, and maybe jog, run a little bit. So let's see if we can get inspired to do something like that. And what would be a good marker? 3 miles was what I did on the turkey trot day. I said, well, if I did 3 miles a day, what would that be? Well, it turns out that's about 1,000 miles. So that's how I came up with this 1,000-mile man challenge for myself, that I want to do 1,000 miles of walk, run, or hiking in 2026. So let's recap what the challenge is. My challenge is to walk, run or hike 3 miles a day for about 1,000 miles in a year. I want to get to 1,000 miles for the year. It's got to be intentional, so it can't be just a walking around the house or just doing everyday stuff. It's got to be intentional, captured on my Garmin watch. I'm going to count biking. 3 miles of biking equal to 1 mile of walking, running. That seemed to be like a general sort of rule of thumb. It can't be just steps, normal everyday walking around the house. It's got to be tracked. I'm going to track some other key markers. Have a mile counter. Probably, I want to watch my resting heart rate, see how that fluctuates. Obviously my weight. Also going to get my function health data back. I'm starting that off right now. I just did that today. And see how we start the year. So if you think it's interesting, if you want to follow along, you can. If you think that there's someone that might be inspired by this or just might be interested in trying to do something, maybe it's not 1,000 miles, maybe they start with 500 miles, or maybe they start with 100 miles. I don't know. I'm trying to maybe think about my mom, like trying to get her to walk. She's 83 years old. Try to get her to walk, 100 miles this year. How great would that be? So if you think it's interesting, look forward to having you along for the journey.